Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching and Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channels. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. We continue our foray into the All-Star Wrestling Review Series. I am partway through, almost halfway through 1981. Obviously, recording time is not my friend here, as we are here in 1979. Specifically, the November 10th edition of 1979. I would like to be further along, but just time isn't there. Business is busy, and that is a good thing. Actually, got some radio and podcast things coming up as well, so gonna be even busier. Anyway, love this time period. Love this time in history, and love the stars that come out in the 79-80 time frame. Actually amazing to me that for me this is the first foray into a lot of this stuff, and I am falling in love with the 70s, so I wish there was more content here. There is not, unfortunately. I'd love to see some more 70s stuff, though. Anyway, we move into the 10th of the 10th of November, and then kind of there we go. We kind of see some interesting stuff. I mean, nothing. Is it really worth writing home about? No. But at the same time, a lot of stars that end up here are future individuals, and also the new tag team champions, Ivan Putski and Tito Santana, which they'd been building for several months at this point, probably about 3 to 4 months before winning the championships. Kind of a good thing here. Enhancement talent match with JoJo Coleman and other such for Santana. And Putski, Billy Coleman, and JoJo Andrews. 809, Santana pinning Coleman. After the Polish Hammer from Putski, they're trying to keep Putski and Santana on the same level. Santana with a lot of arm ringers, headlocks, and basic stuff. Putski comes in and stays on the head of the enhancement talent. Not quite sure why you're giving the tag team champions, just enhancement matches that don't really matter, although in the 70s and early 80s, you had champions that were more involved in, building up house show run, and I mean that's there. So I mean that's could be part of it. But anyway, some basic stuff here. Back to the headlocks. The heels get a little bit of an advantage, although not much of one, and eventually the Polish Hammer by Santana, or by Putski, leads to the win for he and Santana. We move into the next match in the series, which happens to be a Ted DiBiase match here, I believe. Johnny Valiant fighting Ted DiBiase to a double countout. 7:32 when both men are brawling on the floor. DiBiase kind of falling here a little bit. I wouldn't say necessarily fully fallen off, but at the same time, to come in as the North American champion and be in a match that kind of is a throwaway on television a few months later, not exactly great. Although DiBiase with the head scissors, followed by the abdominals, the full Nelson by Valiant, and Valiant takes him down. Valiant and DiBiase go back around. Also, the reverse chinlock and that sort of thing there. Jabs off, and they eventually do go to brawl on the floor. DiBiase once again wants to get the North American Championship back from Pat Patterson. DiBiase also wants to be at the top of his game, realizing that he has to fight at a whole nother level. The unfinished nature there. DiBiase, I think, in 79, I actually wonder why you wouldn't keep him, or at least try to, and maybe turn him into the guy that he ends up being a heel, or why not put the belt on him instead of Backlund at this point? Backlund kind of flailing even this early in the run. Larry Zbyszko defeating Johnny Rivera 702 with Cradle. Zbyszko continuing to be one of the most consistent baby faces at the time, and hard shots there. We see Zbyszko, because of his alignment with Bruno, managing to be seen as a guy that should be taken seriously. And I got to grab my phone, so we'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail to continue this. And again, this is a more traditional approach to lots of things. We again see, kind of guys like DiBiase, guys like Santana, guys who are foundational individuals going forward being a major deal. And again, Zbyszko at this time is a guy who has been around for a while. Wouldn't necessarily have any long-term value to the company if not for the nature of, the concept of his run with Bruno and having been tied to Bruno, but the attempted spinning toe hold by the enhancement talent doesn't really lead too far. Zbyszko eventually does get a win with a cradle. The cradle, a very basic maneuver, and Zbyszko getting the scientific win still here. Months away, and actually they shake hands at the end. And certainly Zbyszko as a major force babyface, a pretty big deal. Speaking of major forces, the Samoans, Afa and Sika, are here. They are major forces on the heel side over the next several months into the rest of the. I don't know that I'd say that. Well, yeah, the rest of the year into the new year. Wild Samoans defeating Fred Mazzaro and Billy Burgers 358. Obviously, the Samoans are brawlers at the time, which is the island deal here. Pretty basic thing. Afa and Sika, of course, the patriarchs to what would be a multi-generational family, along with Peter Maivia. Punch kick, lots of basic stuff, splashes, and Lou Albano is managing them. He hopes to take them to the Tag Team Championships and eventually does. We go back to a now brown-haired version of Ken Patera. Patera, obviously, a pretty big deal here as your eventual Intercontinental Champion in 1980. But anyway, the Grand Wizard, the guy who is a major force to be reckoned with here, and ultimately, it's kind of it's there, and it's pretty consistent. I mean, we're looking at basic maneuvers, headlocks, hammerlocks. The spinning full Nelson, though, after a body slam, and eventually the spinning full Nelson becomes a major force. As a matter of fact, in the Coliseum Video Open, we see Patera with that. This is a major run for him and a pretty big deal for Ken Patera. But we'll be back with more right after this.